from Charleston, South Carolina for tonight's USL match. First and second place from last year's Eastern Conference get set to battle it out for the very first time this season at MUSC Health Stadium. Hey everyone, my name's Poppy Miller. I'll be your host for tonight's game. Alongside me, Derek Broadley. Derek, what a game we've got on our hands. The leading goal scorers in the Eastern Conference meet tonight. And for Louisville City FC, that's Cameron Lancaster.
Yeah, Lancaster's an unbelievable striker. He's in a rich vein of form right now. He scores great goals from wherever. He's had a long tradition in the league. You see him scoring a great free kick, but he's one of these players that doesn't just score goals, he links the game up, very dangerous, and I'm sure he's going to be a real handful for the home team tonight.
Lancaster, 9 goals on the season so far, matching Mike Anhauser's Atula Guerra. Another player on fantastic goal-scoring form, it's Gordon Wild.
Yeah, Gordon Wild's on loan from Atlanta, and he's settling into the team really well right now. What he's done is he's managed to score some unbelievable goals this year. He's got a fantastic left foot, he can score goals from distance, he's very good on set plays and dead balls. Now he's scoring other goals in open play. You'll see this one we're facing up. So the away team tonight is going to really have to be on guard with him tonight.
He scored 2 goals on Wednesday night against Indy 11 and has 6 goals on the season so far. So keep your eye on him tonight over the dead ball and at the top of the box. Well, I managed to catch up with him earlier this week to preview tonight's match.
Yeah, for a lot of guys it was about recovering, but we also rested a couple of our important players on Wednesday. So Louisville are the defending champs, and I think Taylor said in the locker room yesterday that he hasn't won against them yet. So yeah, the whole team is looking forward to that matchup. It's going to be a very good competition. They're going to move the ball, they're going to create chances, and it's up to us to defend that and then also get our own chances and finish it on top.
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. Well, fans are filing in around us. Blue skies and a breezy wind here in Charleston, South Carolina. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match, wherever you are. Well, we are almost at kickoff, but first let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Banner. For Louisville City FC, well, it looks like they're going out in a 4-1-4-1 tonight. Greg Rangjit Singh starts between the sticks. Smith, Craig, Toach and Jimenez across the back line. McMahon will just sit in front. Del Piccolo on the left, McCabe on the right, and the man that everyone will be watching tonight, we mentioned him in the pre-game, it's Cameron Lancaster, the lone striker. Well, for Mike Anhauser's side, Joe Kuzminski back in the net, making his 13th start tonight. The three-man backline, Neville Hackshaw, Captain Taylor Mueller, and Leland Archer. Tyle Bryan and Nunga will anchor the middle of the park with Angelo Kelly. Woodbine on the left, Bolt on the right, and the trio up top with 17 goals combined this season. It's Gordon Wilder, Tula Guerra, and Kotaro Higashi. Well, Derek, big match tonight for Louisville, their second match without head coach James O'Connor, coming into tonight's match with 3 player coaches, and they'll be looking to build on all that James O'Connor's done for the club.
Yeah, O'Connor's been there from the start, hasn't he? So, you know, I think this is their 3rd season in the league, so he's obviously put together a very solid staff and a group of players. And although it's a very, very difficult situation for these player coaches to come into, you know, making the transition from player coach is always the big one, but when you have to do it mid-season, and a lot of the support staff have gone as well. But I'm sure they've tried to keep it simple, they've tried to keep it repetitive, and what they'll try and do today is, you know, talk the similar language which Mr. O'Connor involved, and see where they go.
Well, we are away here at MUSC Health Stadium. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley, and what a match we've got on our hands tonight. These two teams tied on points in the Eastern Conference, sitting at 3rd and 4th place. So really playing for double points tonight, Derek. Yeah,
this is the proverbial 6-pointer, isn't it? You know, I'm looking forward to a really exciting game. 2 very expansive teams. What will be interesting was, you know, if the home team, the Battery, can get a goal up, you know, what sort of response will these players have? You know, in the absence of the coach, there's always going to be a little bit of self-doubt. But on the surface, 2 very, very solid teams, some great players on view tonight. So, and a system that's really going to be, you know, set up. But there's a loose one there by Hackshaw.
Here could be a chance in this early going. Blocked by captain Taylor Mueller, but it was Ramusen on his toes. Very statistically similar teams in goals conceded and goals scored. Just 1 goal separates these 2 teams with each of those. And a very, very similar formation, even though Louisville is listed as 4-1-4-1, we could see them easily revert into the 3-man back line as the Battery has.
Yeah, no, you can see, I think they're going to go, they're going to try and match him up. You know, I think that's how it looks like they're going to do now. You know, although they've got a 4-1, I think one of their back 4 just sits further up the field, more like a stopper. So if you look now, they've got the 3 players at the back. So it should be a like-for-like formation. And as I said, I think that will really lend itself to an exciting game. It's like which group of players 1v1 can outwit their other opponent. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really exciting game.
Last season, these 2 teams met 3 times, once a 4-4 draw, once a 1-1 draw, and Louisville took the other game 1-0. So all been very, very tight in the score lines. Yeah,
they are. And as I said, I think tonight we should get plenty of chances the way the teams are set up. And as I said, you know, with the Battery's got 3 front players that are really on form. Gordon Wild on the ball now. You know, he scored 2 the other night, and he's, you know, very exciting players, particularly around the edge of the box. Here's Kotaro on the ball now. You know you're going to get work rate from the front 3, and then, you know, Guerra speaks for himself. He's, you know, one of the top scorers in this side of the conference, and again, you know, he's had a little bit of a rest during the week, so I'm sure he'll be looking to get back to goal-scoring ways as soon as he possibly can.
Talking to Charleston Battery head coach Mike Anhauser earlier this week, he said he's expecting maybe the goals to come from counter-attacks. We've seen the game open up even in this early going. It's Ramusen over the ball. Into the middle. Speedy Williams gets his first touches. Del Piccolo out wide. Invites Craig forward. It's into the box. Runs through. And Jay Bolt for Higashi. Jay Bolt makes his first start tonight after coming back from injury. We saw him last match make such an impact in the game, Derek.
Yeah, no, Jay's, you know, he's a very effective player for the Battery, isn't he? You know, he's had that little layoff for that little niggling back injury that when he got a real whack in one of the home games. So, no, he'll be looking to stamp his authority on the game. And, you know, Mike Anhauser made some changes during the week, didn't he? And he hopes to see the benefit of that, giving some of these players a well-earned rest. And they come back into this game a lot fresher. And as I said, that's a great way to rotate your squad so that you can get the best out of your squad and your individual players.
The Charleston Battery coming into this game, like you said, Derek, on a midweek match. Mike Anhauser made 7 changes to the lineup from the weekend game against North Carolina. Long ball forward, no worries for Joe Kosminski. They beat Indy 11 2-1 here at MUSC Health Stadium, and it was Gordon Wild, the goal scorer, another one on great form.
Yeah. Louisville started very brightly, haven't they? Putting the Battery under a lot of pressure right now. As I said, they've sort of matched them up. I think they've done their homework. Whether it was Mr. O'Connor or the new staff, what they're trying to do is to stop them playing out. They've basically gone 1-for-1 all over the park and trying to stop the Battery at source. But the downside to that is that you can also get capitalised on. Here we go.
O'Brien Woodbine into the box for Garrett. Garrett's found the back of the net. Pass Ranjit Singh in the 5th minute. The King of Charleston puts the home side on the score sheet, and it's 1-0 Charleston Battery.
You have to say he's been rewarded there for his persistence, isn't he? He said they won the ball back. O'Brien won it. He's accelerated, and we were just talking about how this 1v1 situation's happened, and Louisville have suffered there. They've been beat 1v1. It's opened the game up. Guerra's made a fantastic run to the front post. He's hit the ball in, and then he's stayed around and got the rebound. So we'll get a chance to have another look at it. But a great start for the Battery, probably against the run of play for the first couple of minutes. And I think that's going to be really good for the whole game, Poppy. This is really going to open it up. And now Louisville's going to have to come out right from the start and play.
Atula Guerra with his 10th goal on the season. Of course, all Battery goals brought to you by Baker Roofing. And what a game we have on our hands in the early going. Charleston Battery lead Louisville City FC 1-0.
Classic counter-attacking football, wasn't it? They've been under pressure, the Battery, really, you have to say, from the first couple of minutes. And they've classically broke. They've got a quick turnover in midfield, and as I said, a great goal. Guerra's on. We spoke about it just briefly. He's on great form, and there you go again, another goal. And I'm sure when he gets goals, especially early goals, his enthusiasm goes through the roof. So hope that's a great sign for Mike Anhauser.
Well, we mentioned them in the pre-game. Atula Guerra and Cameron Lancaster leading the USL in goals this season. Atula Guerra's gone 1 up, and it will be Cameron Lancaster looking to find the back of the net for the visitors. McMahon back to Toch. Louisville spraying it around the back of the field, trying to keep some possession. And now it's Louisville coming forward into the middle of the park. Del Piccolo. And Joe Kosminski forced to sweep that one out of the back. Joe Kosminski with 6 clean sheets in 12 USL starts, 13 if you're including tonight, and that's not bad, Derek.
No, as I said, he's come into it, and the goalkeeping situation is one of those ones for all young players who are goalkeepers out there. You have to spend your time, being a number 1 and a number 2, and when you get your opportunity, you've got to make sure you come in straight away and make an impact, and that's what Kosminski's done. He saw his opportunity, he waited his time, and then when he came in, he took his chance with both hands, and has really made an impact in this team. And everything that's good about the team has come from him. You've got another one who got a rest in the week, so you can see the emphasis that the coach has put on this game. Playing one of the top. No disrespect to the Indy team, but they've given a lot of players a rest, and it's definitely paid off for the Battery up until now.
Hackshaw shields that one out of play. It was Ramuson on his back heels and Joe Kosminski to get us back underway. And we'll just get another look at that goal presented to you by Baker Roofing. And what a second finish it was for Atula Guerra. Good follow-up of the ball. Yeah,
again, the one thing you have to look at there is his persistence. He's watched the save. It's come back to him. He didn't sort of reel away, didn't get upset. He stayed with it and got a great, second touch. So fair play to him for doing that. But that's a sign of a player that's really on form and in good goal-scoring form too.
Kosminski to get us back underway. Lofty ball forward. And even though we have a nice cool breeze here in Charleston, very, very warm on the field below us a couple of minutes before kickoff, it was on the verge as to whether we will see a water break or not. So we will wait and see for that, and of course keep you up to date, but we've seen one in the last couple of games, Derek. Very hot temperatures in Charleston. This is a turnover on the far side. Angelo Kelly regains the possession. The referee waves play on. Finds Neville Hackshaw out to bolt. The press is on for Louisville. Kotaro Higashi leaving for Atula Guerra. Del Piccolo combines with Speedy Williams.
Yeah.
Toch.
And you have to give them credit, Louisville. They've gone a goal down, but it hasn't stopped them playing. You know, they've kept their passing game on. You know, we've seen this from the Battery many times this season. They're happy just to sit in. Again, look at that line of confrontation, well inside their own half, protecting what they've got, and making sure that they sort of hold this lead for a bit and play themselves back into the game.
And we often say, Derek, having the 1-0 lead in the early going is often the most dangerous lead that you can have.
Yeah, sometimes in games you can score too early, can't you? You know, it gives you a false sense of security, gives the other teams plenty of time to go. And so I say, Louisville won't panic right now. You know, they've been down before. You know, with in the absence of having a full-time coach, that may have an impact. But, you know, these are professional players. They're used to people coming and going in clubs, players. And, you know, they should have known this. Most of them have played for many coaches. So, you know, right now they're on the field. They'll just get on with it. It'll be business as usual.
Ramusen down this far side. Kotaro Higashi drops back in to help defend. McMahon across to Williams. Assessing his options. And again, like you said, Derek, everyone back behind the ball for the Battery defending. Ramusen. And that is a goal kick for the Battery. Good defending on this near side. Well, we were talking about the player coaches. There is, of course, 3 player coaches for Louisville, one of whom is actually on the bench recovering from an injury, Luke Spencer. But it'll be interesting to see how that formats when he's back out on the field when it comes to substitution and in-game changes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can work both ways. Having 2 players on the field, they get a feel for the game. They can relay messages back to him. And as I said, you know, there's got to be a level of trust there. I said it's a very difficult situation to go from player to coach. And right now, you know, it's a completely different job. You know, when you're a player, you just worry about yourself. When you're a coach, you've got to worry about the whole team and the subs and the staff and the kit man and everyone else. So it's a big transition. And right now, as I said, you know, he'll be thinking a little bit like a player. And then what he's got to do as the game goes on, he's got to think tactically how he can get him. But right now, you know, his team's doing very well. They're back in it. They've had plenty of possession. Haven't really had a chance on goal yet. But they've definitely had a game plan to come and put the Battery under pressure, which they haven't faced this too often this season. But what it does is it creates space over the top, so the Battery may have to play from back to front a little bit quicker.
Fans Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportsamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. Toch into the middle. His second season with Louisville comes from Rochester Rhinos and really was the rock at the back in 2017, leading the team in tackles, clears and interceptions. Fantastic defender and real mainstay for Louisville. Now the attack is on. It's into the box, right through the back. A good delivery.
Yeah, no, it's very good delivery. As I said, they're enjoying a real good spell of possession right now. And as I said, it was a great cross, whipped in, good header. And as I said, you know, the Battery right now, although they're the goal up, they haven't really got into the game. So here we have is the cross here, little flick header. Leland Archer done very well just to let it go. He was aware that there was no one behind him. So, yeah, they'll be happy with that one right now.
It was Ramusen delivering to Lancaster. And they are a duo we will have to keep our eye on tonight. Over on the far side, it's Craig. Yeah,
Ramusen, he's floating around, isn't he? He was just out here on the left. He's gone back into the middle now. You know, he moves around a great deal. And Carl Smith is playing much higher up the field. Now, that's that one that we thought might have played at the back, but he's playing more like a wing back than a full back. So, you know, he's going to cause some problems. And as I said, straight away you can say, I think they've gone and matched them up. That's how they've done it. They're going to say, you know, we've seen you play before. We'll match you up 1-1. And here's again, Ramusen again and Smith have just swapped places again. and just trying to, you know, throw a bit of confusion in there for the Battery team.
Something that's very common for Louisville, especially in the attack. And like you said, Derek, very common for the wing-backs to get forward. The referee's going to bring that one back.
Yeah, he tried to play the advantage, the referee there, didn't it? It was just a little clip there. I mean, you know, Brian Anunga, he's so quick. He just gets in front. He just gets caught, and he's so powerful and strong. You know, here he is again. Like he just knocks it round them. He gets a little tuck there. Gets a little tap on the shins, and the referee, you know, if the referee tried to play the advantage, but good referee.
All replays tonight brought to you by Baker Roofing. It's Hackshaw up to Bolt. Bolt in the corner, manages to get the cross in. It's Higashi with the follow-up. Runs all the way through. Smith up to Ramusen. You can hear shouts from Mike Anhauser below us, telling the team to step and put the pressure on. Ranjit Singh out the back.
And there you go. That's what the Battery do so well, don't they? That when they do press, and you can hear the coach screaming at them, they press high, force goalkeepers into being the deliverer, and 9 times out of 10 they get the ball back. And I think that's the message now. You know, the coaches have seen they're trying to press them, so the way to alleviate that is to press them back. And it's which team can force their will onto each other.
It's Hackshaw, led on by Bolt. This could be a real chance for the Battery. It's Neville Hackshaw. He's got Atuligera with him, just struggling to find him in the box, and Craig knocks one out for a corner.
You could see both, when you see this come in again, you'll see both Gordon Wild and Guerra were advanced to the ball. They both adjusted their runs, and it was a really good ball across. It just needed one of the players to go. Here we go. Here we'll see now. Great play by Bolt and Hackshaw. When this ball's rolled across, you can see them. They're both holding their runs, and they just couldn't time it right to get in. Here's Wild with a corner.
It's Gordon Wild on the far side with the in-swinger. He's got Atuligera with him, which is something we haven't seen before this season. Looks like he's going to whip one into the box, though. Heads away from Louisville, and it'll be Jay Bolt to track and collect. And you would think that you'd want to see Atuligera in the box for those, Derek.
Especially if you're going to deliver it. I mean, if you're going to play short, great. But if you're actually going to knock the ball in, you want as many strikers in the box as you possibly can.
Hackshaw leads Jay Bolt on into the box. Good ball. Toach comes across.
3 times now you've seen that the Battery have actually thrown the ball in behind Louisville. So you can see that that's the tactic. You know, get it in behind. As I said, they're trying to match him up. You can't be offside from a throw-in. So what they're trying to do is to play in behind each team, so that's where the space is, and put the other team under pressure. Even if the defender gets it, he's facing his own goal.
And you can see just how far Neville Hackshaw, 3-man back line, is getting into the attack, just leaving 2 at the back. And we'll see those changes when there's a corner. But now quick track back for the Battery, and this is the counter-attack we're talking about. But one of the strengths of the Battery is they cover each other so well.
Yeah, and they defend narrow. What they do is with their shape, they're quite happy to concede the ball wide like we see now.
Smith into the box, looking for the back post, but just overcooked it.
Yeah, they're happy. What the Battery do is they recover into a shape that's nice and narrow. It's the width of the 18-yard box, and you know, on a counter-attack, they're quite happy to concede the ball wide, giving them more time to get back into central positions. And if the ball does come in, they've got some big lads that are prepared to head the ball and defend nice and deep.
One of those players that's always dropping back, reads the game very well. It's Brian Anunga, the only player for the Battery to have started every single game for Mike Anhauser this season, and really is a mainstay in the middle. Angelo Kelly finds Higashi. It's out wide to Bolt. The referee brings it back for a free kick on Kelly.
Again, you know, the referee's really doing a good job. He's trying to play the advantage each time. He waited to see, he realised Jay Bolt wasn't going to get under that, and pulled it back, I think, for the foul on Kelly. So, no, that's a very good referee, and they don't always get the credit they deserve, the refs, but up until now, I think he's done excellent.
It's O'Brien Woodbine on the far side. He's got Gordon Wild with him. Leads one back, and the referee is going to give a set-piece opportunity over on the far side, and this is good Gordon Wild range. Yeah, no, this really is. I mean, this is where he's very good, Gordon Wild. He gets the ball back. It's a ball played back to him by O'Brien. He sucks the defender in, rolls him, uses his strength, and then gets the free kick. And, you know, this really is in good territory. Here you go, look, you see, look,
Ball gets played into him. Look, he just rolls the defender, puts his body in, rolls them, and the defender gets beat by a bit of skill. And now this is really good delivery. It's a better angle than a corner, and it can be a shot or a cross with pace. And any touch on the ball is going to be a good one. And
again, it's Atuligera dropping out wide for the short ball option. Gordon Wild with 2 assists on the season so far. Whips one into the back post, past Ranjit Singh. And that one is going to go out for a corner, but what a delivery that was.
Now, great delivery in, and as I said, I think if I'm the goalkeeper there, I want to get a much better punch on that. First, you know, he got it out of danger's area, but it wasn't a convincing punch. Here we go, whipped in, good delivery. Goalkeeper comes out, gets something on it, but you know, really that needs to be going out for a throw in, not for a corner.
Gordon Wild tracks across again to take this one. Keep your eye this time on Atuligera and Leland Archer, 6'4", some good height in the box. It's going to be an outswinger from this near side. It's Gordon Wild again looking towards the back post. The referee has seen some pushing and shoving, and that is going to be a free kick.
And as a coach, that's the most frustrating thing. You get into a good position, corner kick or advanced set play, and your players go and give away a silly foul. And in today's game, everyone's looking for it now, so they need to do that as a wasted opportunity there.
Ranjit Singh to get us back underway. 5 clean sheets on the season, had a standout year last season with 11 clean sheets, and of course helping Louisville win the USL title. The Trinidad and Tobago international. Some pressure from Atuligera. He finds Gordon Wild. Gordon Wild looking to take off. Threads one through. And again, this one is pulled back for another set piece now. We've had just about 4 in the span of a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and again, it all comes down to pressure, isn't it? This free kick, the ball's won back. You know, they're high up the field. You know, they've won the ball back. It's a great position, and as I said, and then here we go there. So look, they've got nice, comfortable possession. It's a bit of a loose pass. Great pressure from Guerra, and then they win the ball back. Wild goes to go through. A little bit of a loose touch there, and that's where the referee gives the free kick just there. So, you know, great play. And again, you know, it just shows you, any young player out there, if you work hard high up the field, you'll get your rewards.
Well, it looks like it's going to be an in-swing and out-swinging option. O'Brien, Woodbine over the dead ball, as well as Gordon Wild. And it's going to be Woodbine with the strike, hits the wall. The Battery will look to recycle. It's Taylor Mueller. Launches one forward, looking for Bolt. Almost had the control on it.
You can see there Taylor Mueller's really upset there. It was a great pass from that angle. It was a perfect weight. Jay Bolt just couldn't, you know, it's a hard skill ball coming over your head. But a bit disappointing. You can see the frustration Taylor's face there. But, you know, Jay Bolt done everything he could to try and bring that down.
Ranjit Singh out the back. Heads on by Ramuson, and the Battery with enough pressure to win the ball. Hackshaw, keep your eye on his long throw throughout. Like you said, Derek, looking to go over the top. Anunga wins it in the middle of the park. Can they switch the field? Woodbine. Back for Kelly.
There's good pressure by McCabe there for Louisville then, and you know the Battery just got beat at their own game there. You know, they're trying to play it round the back, and both teams are at it. Both teams want to put each other's back 3 under pressure, and when they get success, that'll encourage them even more to keep doing it. So it lends for a good game, so when the teams do lose it, there's a quick turnaround and a quick chance.
Tarbara and Anunga can collect, finds Gordon Wild. Now can Gordon Wild take off? He's got the 3 strikers up top with him. For Atuligera, out to Katara Higashi, who just puts it wide of the post.
That's one that could come back to haunt him. It's a great play, and again, Guerra, for a lethal striker, he's very, very unselfish. But again, Anunga won the tackle. Great ball pulled back. Great intelligent pass there. Good run by Katara, and he just misses the target. I don't think his left foot's his strongest. Maybe he should have let it come over onto his right and hit it, but great chance, and as I said, that could have made a real big difference in that game, getting that second goal this early.
17 goals between them this season, but also a handful of assists. Like you said, Derek, each player up top very unselfish when it comes to laying the ball off, especially Guerra. Now the attack could be on at the other end of the field. It's Louisville. Cameron Lancaster on Taylor Mueller's toes, and Joe Kuzminski gets us back underway quickly. Kelly in the middle of the park. The pressure is on. Lancaster forces Mueller long.
And I think that's the secret of tonight's game. Get it forward quickly, relieve the pressure, and by relieving the pressure, you're actually putting the other team under pressure. That's not the prettiest way to play, but it's probably the most effective way to play it as the teams are settling down. As teams get more tired, they might drop off a bit deeper. But all the space from both teams is in behind the back three, and the one who can get it there quicker with the best delivery is going to have the most success.
Here comes another set-piece opportunity. It's O'Brien Woodbine, the Jamaican international, over the dead ball. Looks to get it underway quickly, switches the flank for Jay Bolt, and well read by Kyle Smith. Now the game really is opening up. It's Ramuson into Williams. Out wide, invites Jimenez forward. Williams gets the 1-2, and now Louisville injecting players forward. You can see something you talk about, Derek, is the trio up top dropping back behind the ball and their work rate in the defence. Yeah,
they don't chase lost causes. They just shuffle across, and you can see there that Katara goes out and presses the ball. You know, it's almost like a piston, isn't it? When the ball gets played across, one goes out, the other one drops in. So they work very hard to do that. And right now, as I said, Louisville are struggling. You know, they've got plenty of possession, but they're not going anywhere. And that's testament to the shape and the pressure that the Battery players are putting on them.
It's into the middle. Kelly comes out on top. Just below me, Luke Spencer appealing for a foul, but it's Angelo Kelly still. He's looking to get one into the box, forces the corner, and well played from Kelly.
He showed it for a young player. He showed all the experience there, didn't he? He was faced up. He knew he was on his own. He chipped it wide, went wide and got it. I'm sure that's what they're discussing now. He's took it away, and he's even got his cross in and earned his team a corner from really nothing. From winning the ball in midfield, having nothing in front of him, he's won his team a corner, which is fantastic.
You just saw on your screens a second ago, Charleston Battery head coach Mike Anhauser and assistant Dusty Hudock. Mike Anhauser joined the Battery as a player in 1994, spent 6 seasons in the midfield before transitioning into a coaching role. Here comes Gordon Wild with the in-swinger from the far side. The Battery with numbers in the box. Atula Guerra in the mix. In at the near post, it's Hackshaw! Neville Hackshaw finds the back of the net from Gordon Wild. The fans below me couldn't be more happy for the fan favourite. Hackshaw makes it 2-0 Charleston Battery.
And what you see there is it's all about the delivery. The delivery comes in, great left foot, loads of pace on the ball. Hackshaw just gets in front of his marker, gets his header. He doesn't even head it, he just redirects that ball into the corner. So here we go, look, great delivery, whipped in nice and hard. He just gets his header, redirects it. He's just trying to push it towards the goal. He gets in front of his marker there, directs it towards the goal. And, you know, look at the guy on the post, you know, McCabe on the post, and it comes into him, look. And he's not done anything. He's actually not on the post. He's in the middle of the goal, and he just can't react quick enough. So fantastic goal, and I have to say I think they've deserved it. They've had 2 or 3 chances. They've had a string of free kicks and set plays, and that's what happens when you get many of those. You get goals.
Charleston Battery goals, of course, brought to you by Baker Roofing. And Neville Hackshaw with his first goal of the season. Now it's Louisville on the front foot. Speedy Williams, it's through to Smith. And good composed goalkeeping from Joe Kuzminski.
This is where the coaching staff have to do their work. They get a little bit, you get your second goal. Sometimes a bit of complacency moves in. Little Jay Bolt eventually did get back. He was slightly the wrong side. And as I said, they say in soccer, don't they, 2-0 is the worst score in a game because your team seems to switch off, and I'm sure the coaching staff of the Battery now will be right on top of the players now, making sure that they keep the next 10 minutes nice and tight, don't give any chances, and more importantly, keep doing what they're doing because they're actually on top in terms of chances, possession, and doing very, very well.
Speedy Williams on the ball, his 15th start tonight, the Jamaican international. The playmaker in the middle of the park. Hackshaw heads away. Could this be a chance for Louisville? Archer does just enough, but Williams is there again. Into the middle, Kuzminski's forced with the save, and it was McCabe with the follow-up. Lancaster, sorry, with the follow-up. And that just shows him hanging on that last defender. Taylor Mueller's going to have to be careful.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's been very quiet up to now, Lancaster, and he sees he's a real poacher. He saw the goalkeeper just have a little, he didn't spill it properly, he just let it go, and he was there ready just to pounce. And, you know, as I said, you want your strikers going in, although you don't want to see a goalkeeper get hurt. You want your strikers looking for that little pop-out half chance that he got, and, you know, that's what Lancaster does very, very well.
It's going to be Kyle Smith to get us. Luke Spencer on your screen there. Goes back to Toach.
And now you'll see what sort of tight-knit group this Louisville team is, won't we? You know, they've lost their coach. You know, they're 2-0 down. They're away from home. They're under a little bit of pressure. Now we'll see, you know, the work that's been done in the past, and really the state of mind of some of these players, you know, who are probably waiting to see who the new coach is going to be. And as I said, let's see if they're up for the challenge.
Could have been an opportunity for a loose one across the middle. Del Piccolo keeps the possession. It's Williams. Brings McMahon into the attack. And now they're starting to possess with a purpose. Williams taking space. Feeds one through to Lancaster. It's Lancaster in the box, one-on-one with Mueller. Bolt tracks across to help. And the Battery defending in numbers. Yeah,
nice little link-up play between McCabe and Lancaster there on the edge of the box. And as I said, you know, that's the one thing the Battery can't switch off here now. There's enough good players on this team. You know, they're a championship-winning team. You know, they're still in the game, and you know, they certainly can't rest. You know, with this 2-0 lead. As I said, there's still plenty of time in this game, and the next goal is going to be crucial. If it's Louisville that gets it, it's going to be tough. If it's the Battery, then, you know, maybe we can start to think a little bit differently.
Well, it was Archer looking for O'Brien. Woodbine, we know, likes to make his ways down those flanks. The Jamaican international, his 6th season with the Battery, has so much experience internationally and at the MLS level.
He can score goals and he can create goals, can't he? And most importantly, he can stop goals.
So much speed. Hackshaw for Jay Bolt just runs through. A good pace of the game so far, though, Derek, is one thing that you've got to commend both teams for. Yeah,
the referee's given them a hydration break right now, and I'm sure it's well deserved by the players. And, you know, both players are, and I think Louisville will look more important to this than anything else, because, you know, that gives them a little chance to regroup, give the players a chance to sort of have a little chat, see what's going on, and you can see there's, you know, who's the leaders, you know, who's going to step up, who's going to drag the team back into the game. And even for the Battery players, you can see there that the coach is coming in now. Is there some leadership? Who's looking at it? You know, I'm not so sure any of the interim coaches want the job full-time right now. They're all probably still focused on their plan. Here's another look at the goal. Hackshaw's goal again, great delivery. And really, that goal is all about the delivery. Great header, just redirect it back towards the goal. And McCabe, who's on the line, it's just too low. It's not a knee, it's not a head, it's just one of them awkward heights, and he can't keep it out.
Neville Hackshaw, an absolute fan favourite here in Charleston, South Carolina, and just below me, just carefully watching Louisville throughout this water break, and the 3 player managers meeting, talking tactics, everybody taking a drink, even the coaches just showing how warm it is here, especially on the field, of course. There's the goal scorer, Neville Hackshaw, chatting with the Cameroonian international, Tart Brian Anunga, just 21 years old. Having a fantastic season for Mike Hanhauser. Below me, Atula Guerra and Kotaro Higashi just taking on some last sips of fluid before heading out to the field, and the referee is about to get us back underway here at MUSC Health Stadium. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley, and the home side leading by 2 goals. Atula Guerra and Neville Hackshaw. It's Kyle Smith to get us back underway. One of the players on this side that James O'Connor brought in through the trial system and has over 50 appearances for Louisville. Smith again, just over his head. Neville Hackshaw trots across. to take this one. We know he's got a long throw. Very direct ball up, looking for Guerra. Bolt for the second ball. Speedy Williams brings it down. It's Del Piccolo. Out to Jimenez. McCabe takes a track back. O'Brien Woodbine on his toes. And the referee is going to have a quick chat with O'Brien Woodbine, and this could be the first yellow card of the game for Woodbine. Just a late challenge.
That's a needless challenge there, and for someone of his experience, he'll be disappointed with that. McCabe was going nowhere. He was going back. The only option he had was to pass back there. You can see that he's got nothing on and just a little bit overzealous. Gone in there, and the referee, they're going to card those. It's a tackle from behind, needless. And I'm very surprised with Woodbine there. He's normally a little bit more sensible than that.
It's the Englishman Paco Craig over the dead ball. His third season with Louisville. The only player of the team to earn all league honours in 2017. Has one goal on the season so far. McMahon up to Smith. Toch. Fans, the USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with all the latest news and happenings, live game updates around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Rasmussen for Williams. Speedy Williams looking to combine in the middle of the park, getting the attack generated. Back to McMahon.
Something we don't always talk about, Poppy, but the surface here at the MUSC Stadium is such a great surface that, it's very hard not to play good soccer on it. So if you look, both teams really enjoy possession, but they roll the ball around this surface, and I'm sure if you're a player, you come to this stadium and you want to pass the ball around, it's not going to bobble. The surface is perfect. They water it before the game, so that's what leads to a good tempo. So, it's a great place to come and play soccer. And tonight, the way both teams have shaped up with this 3-2, 3-2-3, whatever they're playing is making it in for a real good game. And the game's been played at a real good tempo, lots of end-to-end stuff.
The grounds men do a fantastic job here at MUSC Health Stadium, like you said, Derek. Louisville, though, of course, on the other hand, are used to playing on all types of surfaces. Their home field is half turf, half grass. And that change happens in the box, so very difficult for teams to play on there. Louisville, of course, used to that, looking to build their new stadium, which should be ready for 2020. The attack is on. It's Anunga to pick it up in the box. And that surface away at Slugger Field really does play an influence in the match. And a very difficult place to play for a lot of teams.
Yeah, and as I said, so them coming to this stadium with a fantastic surface, good atmosphere, and as I said, you can see they're a footballing team. They want to pass the ball around, and I think sometimes, as I said, the Battery players have to get themselves up for every game because they know the teams that are coming, they love playing at this facility. So it's important that they come and they get to play it all the time. So it's when teams come here, they've got to make sure they're ready to get up for the fight, and they keep doing it. And this season, they've done that fantastically well. The way the players roll it round at the back, the way the front three want to run with it. As I said, it's a real soccer player's dream to come and play in this stadium.
Neville Hackshaw just being forced back a few steps. And the Battery now just starting to slow the pace of the game down as half-time's approaching. Yeah,
I think that's something that, again, those hydration breaks just take the sting out of the games, don't they, sometimes? There's an example there of the skidding off the surface. Great ball in. It's just a ball played. It's not an aimless pass. It's a tactical ball played in there, and to get a corner from that situation. And you see, again, Guerra strolling out there. I'm not sure what his role is, whether he's trying to bring players out. I buy into that one. I'd rather see him in the box.
It's Gordon Wild over the dead ball. And it's going to be an outswinger from this near side. Mike Anhauser below me, dishing out his orders to the players. Again at the near post, Hackshaw's there, but it rolls out to Anunga. Across to Woodbine. Can Woodbine get the strike away? He has a go. Ranjit Singh pats away and collects the second ball.
Yeah, good shot, good strike there on target. Again, that's where he shows his experience. He works his shot a little bit distance. It's a good strike from about 25 yards. Goalkeeper makes a double save. He just pats it down, and that'll give the Guerras and the Kataros and the Wilds a chance to say, hey, he didn't catch that one cleanly. Maybe we'll follow in next time.
Mueller plucks one out the air, has a small collision with Cameron Lancaster. Archer force forward. Fans, you can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL as the league's Facebook official page at facebook.com/USL Soccer. Smith into the middle, it's Speedy Williams. Gordon Wild tracks back. And now Ramuson. Louisville starting to put numbers forward. Ramuson into Del Piccolo, a bit of congestion, and they win the throw. Williams. For Kyle Smith. Jay Bolt looking to pick it up, but Hackshaw's the one to clear it. Atula Garrett on his feet, but just noticing Speedy Williams and just the amount of times that we're saying his name in and around the box, really the link in the middle in the attacking play. Yeah,
I think he is. He's that little playmaker that they've stuck into the middle of midfield, and he does a very good job. He's a very intelligent young player. As I said, right now, where he's limited is there's not many options in front of him. They're trying to play into feet. They're trying to play these little 1-2s in and around the box. But the Battery do such a great job of just man marking, staying narrow, putting bodies in there. You know, I think sometimes the way to beat the Battery is to go around the outsides of them, you know, and whip balls in. But right now, it's very tight, very congested. They're having lots of possession, not lots of success. I don't think Kosminski right now has had to make a clear-cut save. There's another example, trying to play that little link ball in and around the box, and doesn't it? Bit disappointing there to give the ball away so cheaply, but here's Williams again on the ball. And you can see, look, he's looking for those little passes.
And he's always ready for the 1-2.
Yeah, and he'll get it back, and so he'll get it again. There's his third time there, look, so plenty of patience. But as I said, right now, the Battery look comfortable having that ball there, and they've got plenty of players in behind the ball.
Into the middle, Hackshaw does enough to dink one forward. Now Guerra, taken off his toes by touch. Williams. He's got Ramuson with him. Not many options, he goes out wide. Now Smith, can Smith get the ball into the box? Blocked by Jay Bolt, and that's going to bring up a corner and a real opportunity for Louisville. It's going to be Jimenez to track across and take it, and we know what a wicked delivery he has got. Leads Louisville with assists with 4 on the season, and the Battery taking no chances, pulling everybody back behind the ball to defend. It's Jimenez. Whips one into the PK spot, away by Hackshaw. A good delivery, and Speedy Williams will collect. Pushes up to Ramuson. And again, the 1-2 is on, but a good delivery from Jimenez.
Yeah, again, that's another area where the Battery are very good defending set pieces. You know, they've got some big lads in there, and, you know, Mueller's a good player in the air. You know, Archer's a good player in the air. You know, we've already seen Hackshaw shows you can do it in both ends. So, yeah, you know, they've got their work cut out, Louisville.
It's Smith into the box, just overhit. And Kosminski will take a goal kick. Kosminski, we haven't had to say his name too many times tonight.
No, he's, as I said, you know, that's testament to the setup and the work rate of the outfield players. Certainly the 3 in front of him, and then, you know, Kelly and Anunga are doing a fantastic job of just screening the 18-yard box. And right now, as I said, Louisville, they're struggling to find ways to break this team down, and they're very vulnerable on the break. You know, with the speed of Wild and Kataro, you know, they're vulnerable. So it's a very good game. It's a very good game to watch right now.
Well, we've got just over 1 minute of regulation time left to play here. But right now the attack is on, and Anunga, too much, says the referee, and this really could be a chance for Louisville in the late going.
And if there has been a weakness in the battery this year, it's set plays, isn't it? You know, there was a time they went through where 5 goals all came from set plays, and I think they've done a lot of work on that, and now we'll see, you know, if that work has been ingrained into the players, okay, or whether it's just something that has been skimmed over.
Del Piccolo and Jimenez over the dead ball. We will wait and see who it is to take it. It looks like it's going to be Jimenez, dinked into the box, and the head is on just wide of the post.
Yeah, the angle of that cross there was always going to make it hard. It's not going to be a flick header from there. It's either got to be fizzed in on the goal. That one was the angle wasn't quite right. It's the right type of header, but it's always gone away from goal with the angle of the delivery. You know, fair play. I think good delivery by Jimenez. I think it was Ramusen there who got his head on it and just tried to flick it through. So a good effort. I mean, as I said, they'll take some positives from that.
UAB product Joe Kuzminski gets us back underway, his second season with the battery. Didn't make a start for the black and yellow last season, but has been a mainstay this year. And the referee below us, the assistant referee, has just indicated 2 minutes of stoppage time. And Louisville on the attack, exactly the same place as we've just seen it. And again, Jimenez quickly scoops up the ball, and they were looking to take that quickly. The battery, of course, just slowing it down and getting everybody back behind the ball. But what a crucial time this is.
Yeah, this is a very important part of the game here. The game could definitely pivot on what goes on in the next 30 seconds. The free kick's a lot higher. It's a slightly better angle. It's shooting distance this time and anything now. So Kuzminski's going to have to be on his toes. You can see he's shaping up his wall. There's 2 players round the box, so there. This is a big moment in the game now.
Well, we are in added time again. It's Del Piccolo over the ball. This time the strike. It's saved by Kuzminski, but a good effort on goal. Yeah,
that time there, you can see the work they've done. The battery getting there on set plays. You know, there was a time when they let a few goals in from that. They've certainly done work on their wall. Kuzminski has taken that nice and comfortably. He's taken it nice and comfortably, and as I said, he's done very well there just to pluck that out the air.
Kelly with the second ball, out to Gordon Wild. Could this be a last chance for a battery attack? Gordon Wild takes on Paco Craig one-on-one and does enough to earn a corner in the late going. Well, it looks like this corner kick will be the last kick of the first half that we see, Derek.
Yeah, and I think, you know, there's only one place this is going. This is going in the box with a bit of pace. You can see McCabe there. If you watch him there, he's actually not on the post and he's not in the middle of the goal, and I think that's going to be a problem to him. So here we go.
It's Gordon Wild with the in-swinger, looking to the back post. Guerra's there. And it's picked up by Angelo Kelly, who lets it run out of play. Can Kelly get us back underway quick enough in the time given? The referee's taking a look at his watch. Hackshaw's tracking across, and the referee said that is all from the first half. The Charleston Battery leading Louisville City FC 2-0. Let's take a look at some first half highlights.
Yeah, it's been a great first half for the Battery. You know, here we go. There's plenty of corners, plenty of set plays, 2 fantastic goals. And as I said, both teams now have got their work cut out to go for the second half.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back after half-time, we'll speak to head coach Mike Anhauser. Stay with us.
You know, every year we take care of the team, and they send over players that they think they may need help, anything we can help with to improve their vision. And when we met Cooper, his vision, corrected or uncorrected as he was playing, would be the equivalent of not being legal to drive. So, and amazingly, he was still as good as he was with that type of vision. And so he's the exact reason why we want to do something like this, so we can identify players that can really make a difference. So of course, so people with correction, people with astigmatism, their eyes change, right? That's a pretty natural thing. And so that's why we follow up with patients once a year, because what we do is just make sure that they're still optimized, they're still fully corrected, and give them the best vision they can. No, I was actually pretty amazed, and that's really kudos to him for how talented he naturally must be, because reaction times are affected when things are blurry. So the fact that he was as good as he was with uncorrected vision is pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I came here and they told me, okay, your left eye is really bad. Your right eye is about, you know, it's not as bad as your left, but it's bad. So I was like, they told me that how I was feeling playing soccer. I was like, I feel great, but then when I got my contacts in, I felt even better. So yeah, I remember the first time I practiced with them, I could see like everything more, you know, better. The ball looks like bigger to me. The goal looked like smaller. Everything was great. Yeah, I cannot imagine. You know, of course, I used to play without him. I don't know how I did it. That's a God thing, but I'm thankful. You know, I'm thankful for this opportunity. In Cuba, I didn't have that, so yeah.
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. It's halftime here, the Charleston Battery hosting Louisville City FC, but we've got another big game on our hands tomorrow. You all know what I'm talking about. It is, of course, the World Cup final, and we've got you covered here at MUSC Health Stadium in the Three Lions Pub. But Derek, a bit of a sore subject still for us.
Yeah, with England going out in the semi-final, very disappointing, but I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic game. The World Cup is the most watched event in the world, and as I said, I'm sure these two teams are both really looking forward to it. Sadly, my predictions have been awful, and I'm going to say 2-0 to France, which probably means Croatia's going to win the event.
So you're saying 2-0 to France, but really you want Croatia to win?
Yeah, they beat England, so I've got to go with that.
Me too. I hope Croatia can do it, but then turning back to the Battery schedule, they're going to hit the road to take on Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who have only lost one game so far this season, and that's going to be a tough away trip.
Yeah, they're very, very well organised, aren't they, Pittsburgh? Defensively sound. The recent game here was two teams where the defences really were on top in all throughout the game. Very few chances, very few saves were made by the goalkeeper, so I'm sure this is going to be a very nice, tight affair, one for the defensive connoisseurs, and it'll be a very tight game.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds lead the USL in clean sheets with 9 on the season already. If you can't make the road trip, then don't worry, we've got you covered here in Charleston. You can watch the game at the Alley. Head to charlestonbattery.com for any more information on that. But then the Battery will return back home to take on their longest standing rivals, the Richmond Kickers, and that is going to be a fantastic matchup.
Yeah, this is one for the fans in it. Local rivalries, as I said, these two teams are very familiar with each other. They've played themselves many times. It's all exciting games. Normally there's lots of goals, lots of chances, and the crowd really generate a lot of that atmosphere. So I think it'll be another tight game, a great game, and hopefully lots of goals on show for the local fans.
And then, as you can see, there's lots of giveaways throughout the match. It's also Meet the Team night, so come on down and meet the players after the game. It's always a great, great atmosphere. And again, for any more information, head to the Charleston Battery website. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have second half kickoff from MUSC Health Stadium. It's the Charleston Battery taking on Louisville City FC up next. Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. 2-0 Charleston Battery at the half, and we've got Mike Anhauser downstairs below us. Coach, 2-0 up at the half. You must be very pleased, especially considering the 7 midweek changes. How happy were you with how the team came out in the first half?
Yeah, I was very happy. You know, you come out against a team like Louisville and do what we did. We were able to catch them on the counter when they possessed it a little bit, and we actually got our shape and did very well defensively and contained them very well. But this is a 90-minute game, and we've got to be on our toes, and we got to make sure if they make a couple changes, we're ready for it.
What was your message to the team in the locker room?
Yeah, it was more. We've got to come out the same way we started the game. We need to be prepared for them to make a couple changes, maybe get a little more offensive and try to put some pressure on us because they only have 45 minutes, and I know they don't want to be losing 2-0.
Brilliant. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Well, Derek, we've heard Mike Anhauser's thoughts, but if you're Luke Spencer Blowers, what do you think his message to the team was?
Well, as I said, he's going to be really challenged, and he's new to this role. You know, as a player, he can go on there and do something about himself. As a coach, he's got to rely on other people to do that for him. I'm sure his message was, come on, boys, you know, we can do a lot better than this. A little bit of a rally call from a tactical aspect. I think he's got to get it. He's got to have a bit more creativity further forward. You know, he needs a few players now to sort of take responsibility, start running at this back three of the Battery. They've got to move the ball a little bit quicker into the final third and see where they go. And yeah, you know, the longer the game's on, they've got to take some risks. And his last thing is he may have to make some changes, as Coach Anhauser said. You know, the Battery are going to be prepared for their changes. He's got to decide which one he's going to make and when he's going to make them.
You can see the fans in the stadium. It's a Tula Guerra that's going to get us back underway. He opened the scoring in the first half with his 10th goal of the season. 45 minutes left to play here at MUSC Health Stadium. And we are just about underway for the second half. No changes as of yet, but of course, we will keep you up to date as we go. So Tula Guerra knocks one all the way back to Hackshaw, and we are away in the second half. Well, to say that the Battery haven't had the majority of the possession, they come out from the locker room 2-0 up, and we'll see if Louisville can keep the advantage on the possession and find the score sheet in this second half. McCabe, kept in by Rasmussen. Joe Kuzminski with the lofty ball. This time Archer returns it. And on the near side, Jimenez. Rasmussen. Kelly can pick it up and finds Jay Bolt out wide. Derek, do you think we can expect to see any formation changes in the second half?
I don't think we'll get formation changes. I think we may get some personnel changes. Certainly the Battery, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And, you know, the system has been very similar throughout the season. And, you know, personnel definitely changes, but the system doesn't. And certainly defensively, there's no need to change it. They do a fantastic job of setting in. We spoke about it in the first half. Now, you talk about Louisville. They're going to have to be a bit braver. Maybe they throw another player further forward. You know, maybe they take a gamble and play one out the back, one more. So they may have to make changes, but certainly from the Battery, I don't expect any.
Well, this is going to bring up a set-piece opportunity for Louisville in the early going of the second half. And it's Del Piccolo and Jimenez over the dead ball. The Battery pulling everybody back behind to help defend.
Yeah, it's a little bit further out for a shot, but it's certainly one of them ones you practice on the training ground. It's going to have to be delivered into the box. And, you know, again, let's see if everyone's ready. Come out the locker room.
Jimenez into the box. Kuzminski with the save. Another good delivery, though, Derek.
Yeah, the set pieces tonight have been good from both teams. There's a good delivery and good header. Textbook header down, and Kuzminski gathers it well. And that's unusual for Mueller to get beat in the box, but he put enough pressure on just to make sure that it wasn't a clear header. So he'll be happy with that, the fact that it was on target, but not a goal-scoring chance.
McCabe wins it back for Louisville. Craig up to Williams. Jimenez getting involved in the possession.
Williams has started off again, hasn't he? He's definitely their playmaker. He's their pivot player. He gets the ball all the time. And, you know, what I'd like to see him do is, can he affect the game further up the field? There's no doubt he's a talented player. He likes to get the ball, keep it. But he's got to find some more penetrating passes than he's done in the first half. He's got to find the likes of McCabe and Rasmussen and really get him in. So, yeah, that's going to be a big feature of the second half.
So O'Brien Woodbine to pick it up on this near side. Lofty ball forward, looking for Wild. Tosh comes across and just runs out of ground.
Again, great pressure from the Battery forward line. You know, it was just a tactical clip pass in, and Wild's done fantastically well to do it. Just put them under pressure, and all the defenders, none of them have had time just to get the ball down, settle and play. They've always been under pressure, and as I said, the Battery have probably been the beneficiaries of it from the two teams thus far.
The referee just bringing Woodbine back. There was 2 balls on the field just below me, but I think he's making him drop back a couple of yards as well. It's Woodbine. We know he's got a long throw, but goes short to Wild. Wild's delivery into the box, runs all the way through. Looked like it may have taken a deflection. You can just see and hear below me the Battery bench very upset with that decision, but it's going to be Ranjit Singh to get us underway from the back. Yeah,
and what Coach Anhauser's saying there, and he's right, you know, that was a corner. We all saw it. The 4th official's there to support the official. You can't blame the official, he didn't see it, but quite clearly you can see that that's been headed over, and that's where the officials have to work together as a team. Very frustrating as a coach, because we all saw we had the best angle of everybody, and Coach Anhauser just making that point to the 4th official that you're a team, you're supposed to help each other out, because, you know, so far the set pieces have been crucial in this game, and, you know, later on in the game that one could be one that's missed and got away that could have an influence on the game.
Ranjit Singh with the long ball forward. Bolt does just enough to win the throw on the far side. It's Neville Hackshaw, the Trinidad and Tobago international, with his first goal for the Battery this season in the first half.
It's been a bit scrappy this second half, hasn't it, so far? Both teams are sort of trying to feel themselves out. And
now Jay Bolt on his bike. He's got Gordon Wild in the box. Good defending from Tosh at the back. Speedy Williams now in space. Goes wide to Jimenez.
And there's that pressure again, look, there's that pressure. Makes it very, very difficult for players. They've got to play at such pace, or they've got to have such strength to hold on to it.
Lancaster dropping back into the midfield. Angelo Kelly can pick it up. He's got the trio up top with him as he makes his run, creates space for Higashi, who goes out to Wild. Wild at the top of the box, through to Garrett. Garrett can't get a touch on it. Good composed play from Ranjit Singh.
It's unlucky there by the Battery. That was great play. It was just slightly overhit there. Great run by Guerra. Kataro, the front three all interchanging there, weren't they? You know, Kataro got it, saw, looked up, found Wild. Wild finds Guerra, and just went a little bit too hard on the pass. But great play there.
Williams in the middle of the park. It's forward to Lancaster. The Battery can regain the possession and will take the handball. The Charleston Battery have only lost 1 game at home so far this season, and it was the very first game of the year against FC Cincinnati. Great home record and very comfortable here. Yeah,
no, they are, and their shape lends to that. You know, this system that they've stuck with and built on has done well. As I said, they've got players that actually know their roles. They're always going to be difficult to beat at home. And even when they go away, and a lot of the earlier games they didn't have as much possession as other teams, but you know they've got clinical strikers and they've scored some very good goals. So that's a great formula.
Here could be a chance. It's Rasmussen in the battle with Hackshaw. Safety in numbers as it comes out the back for Higashi. Higashi dinks one forward, and the visitors can take a moment for some possession around the back. McCabe. Lost in the final third. The game, like we said, Derek, does really open up when these teams are throwing so many numbers forward. It's Gordon Wild, does enough to get past McMahon, and now into the box. The referee waves play on. It's Tosh across. And safely for Jimenez.
That one there, I think you say good defending from the first glimpse. We'll probably get a chance to see that again. But Wild showed his strength getting around the first challenge. You know, he left Greg there on the floor, and then the second one he come across, I think it was Toes who got it, and he just clipped him. But the referee was nice and close, so again, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Mueller pushed into his own box. Out wide for Neville Hackshaw. Launches one forward for Atula Guerra. There's some movement on the bench below me for the visitors. Lofty ball across. Woodbine's forced to deal with it. And good composed play from the Jamaican veteran. Maybe a bit of pushing and shoving from Jimenez. And here's again, we'll see that opportunity.
Yes, he rode the challenge great there. Then I think it's Coach who comes over. There is contact. I mean, you have to say there is contact. I mean, you've seen them given. You know, he didn't play the ball, he played the man, but I think the referee's just classed that as clumsy. And now, is it Rasmussen?
Now we're going to see the first substitution of the match. It's going to be Brian Ownby to make way. And Rasmussen is off. So Brian Ownby on, and an attacking change. We know how critical Ownby can be with those crosses. The Battery backline are going to have their work cut out. It's Woodbine. Launches one forward. Falls for Speedy Williams. McMahon on the far side for Smith. Good combination play from the visitors. Del Piccolo with the lofty ball, looking for Ownby. He gets a touch on it, keeps it inbound. Can he get the cross away? Speedy Williams to the McCabe at the top of the box. McCabe running out of space. Sends one wide back to Ownby. Ownby now with the delivery. Falls across to Jimenez. Could this be a chance over the bar?
Yeah, again, good little spell of pressure. They had the ball in and around the box. Jimenez takes up a good position, doesn't he? Sees the flight of the ball. It comes to him. A bit of a wild shot in the end. You know, he really has just got to look and get that back across the goal or get it on target. A bit of a wild swing, but a little warning sign there for the Battery. You know, good positive change by the coach. Again, he brings Ownby on, and he's been involved 2 or 3 times in that last attack, so he'll be happy with that. And you know, for all them young players out there, you know, when you do get a chance to come on as a sub, you've got to make an impact. You know, you've got to make a positive impact when you come on. You know, you're there, and show the coach that, you know, sometimes it maybe you've made the wrong decision leaving you out.
Craig across to Toach. On the far side, looking for Ownby. Ownby one-on-one with Hackshaw, and that cross will not trouble Kuzminski out of bounds. He'll get us back underway. That's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, that straight away though, you can see they've made the sub, and not only have they made the sub, they're trying to get it to him. So Ownby there, he's been involved 3 or 4 times. He's only been on the field 2 minutes. So, you know, they've made their intent clear. And you know, as Mike Anhauser said, you know, I'm sure they'll be ready for any change that they throw at them. And again, every time there's a change, it always takes a little bit for the game to settle down again. And right now, you know, Louisville's certainly on top. And it's down to the Battery now to get back into the game and put them under some pressure.
Jimenez into Ownby in the middle. Lancaster at the top of the box. Safety in numbers from the Battery. Kelly brings it forward looking for Guerra. Now just getting a bit scrappy, Derek.
Yeah, and Lancaster's not had the greatest of games tonight. We featured him in, you know, before the game. You know, he's definitely one of them players that you can't take your eye off him, but he, you know, everything sort of seems to be just bouncing off him a little bit. He's not secured all the time. But as I said, you'll have to keep an eye on him because he is one of those players that can have, you know, nothing on in the game and all of a sudden, boom, he pops up with a goal. So they earn that respect as young players, and the longer they're in the league, you know, they earn their reputations.
Bolt on the far side. Looks like he's going to leave it for Hackshaw. Hackshaw, another one that started every single game for Mike Anhauser this season, apart from the one he missed on international duty with the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Launches a ball forward for Guerra, over the top of him.
Wild's got to be a little bit closer there. He should read that when the ball goes in. There's a big open space for him to run into, and with the throw that they have, he's there. There's a chance for O'Brien to get forward.
Number 4, O'Brien gets the 1-2, looking for Gordon Wild. He's onside, takes the strike first time, punched away by Ranjit Singh.
Two things there. That's a fantastic pass by Anunga. It's a real good early pass. He was under pressure, he spotted it, and a fantastic strike. You know, he actually hit it with his stronger foot. If you see it now, it comes back. Look, great pass, boom, straight in there. And now he really should hit it with his right foot, but he's so confident he hits it with the outside of his left, and you have to say that's a great save.
Gordon Wild, just so unpredictable in the attack. Here he is combining with Woodbine. Be looking for the cross, finds Guerra. A lot of pressure on Guerra, and the referee waves play on, gives it to Louisville for that last challenge, and just a bit of frustration from Atula Guerra.
Yeah, he's a sulky player, as we say. You know, you know, when things don't go for him, he gets all frustrated, but sometimes that spurs him on. But what's really pleasing for me is Gordon Wild as a young player, he's growing into this team, isn't he? He's taking more and more responsibility. He's very effective. He does his work behind the ball. There you see him now, he's in our shot. But, you know, but going forward now, he's starting to be a real threat in this league as a player.
This could be a chance for Lancaster. And looking, got caught half between a shot and a cross.
There you go, as I said, you can't take your eye off him. We spoke about him literally 2 minutes ago. It's not falling for him right now. It's not going his way. There's another example, but again, it's a great position, just not the right technique at the end. So he's one you can't take your eye off of, and I'm sure Taylor Mueller and his back players will be totally focused on making sure that he stays off the score sheet tonight. Just
on your screens, out of your frame, some movement from the Battery bench down by the corner flag. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley, and the Battery leading Louisville City FC 2-0.
Normally that 60-minute mark is the changes, isn't it? You know, that's what tends to happen in games. You know, the coaches then sort of want to give players at least half an hour to come on and make an impact, and that's normally when we start to see some changes. Louisville have made one a little bit earlier than that, and right now, as I said, I think that the Battery have coped with that little early storm, and they've got themselves back into it, and that'll be interesting to see how, you know, what other throws of the dice that the Louisville team has, because now it's up to them. They have to make the changes. They have to force the game, and it'll be interesting to see what they've got up their sleeve.
We mentioned in the first half that the Battery took on Indy 11 at home on Wednesday night. We saw 7 changes to the lineup from Saturday's match against North Carolina, and they came out with the 2-1 victory. So have some fresh legs on the bench, considering 3 matches in 7 days. Here comes Gordon Wild. Through ball to Woodbine. Can he get the negative back? He can. It's Atula Guerra at the top of the box. Takes his chance. Has he taken one too many touches? Just gets caught at the top of the box in his tracks. And the referee gives that in favour of the visitors.
Yeah, no, he missed his opportunity. You were spot on, Poppy. He missed his opportunity. Again, Wild, again, shows his creativity there with a lovely little ball into O'Brien round the back. And he just didn't quite take his chance, which is unusual for him. He was trying to work it. You have to say, good defending. But he'll be disappointed. He would have thought he got a shot. But shows his confidence, though. He's prepared to hold on to the ball and wait for an opportunity to get a shot on.
Now comes Jimenez. Jay Bolt steps into its path. Let me update you with some scores from around the league. FC Cincinnati 0, Tampa Bay Rowdies 0 at the half. We'll keep you up to date with those as we go on tonight. Williams in the middle of the park.
He's been quieter this second half, hasn't he, Williams? You know, he was their main player now. You know, I'm sure that'll be good for Mike Anhauser. But as I said, he's a very influential player for them. But the second half, they've tended to go a little bit longer, trying to go a little bit wider, and he hasn't had as much influence on the game as he did in the first half.
Neville Hackshaw on the far side. And there the movement is from Louisville. On your screens, plenty of options on the bench. It's Ownby. Maybe dribbles into trouble. Lancaster plays it out wide. The delivery there into the box. And Archer does just enough. Jimenez picks it up on the near side. You can hear the shout below me from the coaches is to get your shape. Paco Craig across.
And that's what a Battery do so well, don't they? They've always got players close enough to the ball that they can put pressure on. They're very, very good at that.
Jimenez. The Battery have numbers. McCabe on this near side. And safety first from Archer. Now the Louisville on the front foot. It's Ownby. Lays one off to McMahon. Smith. Patient in the build-up.
There's another example of Lancaster. It's just not coming down for him, is it? He's popping around there. He's, you know, on another night he'd get that down, he'd lay it in, he'd get a little 1-2, but right now it's just bobbling all around him. It's just not quite happening for him tonight. But this is a good spell from Louisville. Again, great pressure by Anunga.
Can this be an opportunity for the counter-attack? It's Anunga, leads Gordon Wild on. Numbers are heading to fill the box, and he does enough there, Derek, considering there was no one up for him.
Yeah, no, again, great break. You know, it's almost, it's like cat and mouse soccer, isn't it? You know, you see they let them have the ball, but when they get it, they can break so quickly. You know, on that time, you know, Wild wasn't able to really get at his defender, but you know, it's a feature that we've seen a lot of this year, where the Battery have soaked up pressure and bang, they've hit them on, you know, on a fast break, almost basketball fast break. Now they're going to make their substitution. We
can see George Davis IV ready to come in. I think the referee is going to allow that substitution to happen before the throw, and it's going to be Niall McCabe to make way for George Davis IV. Another attacking change. George Davis IV with 2 goals on the season and just the lone assist. Some fresh legs up top. Woodbine for Gordon Wild.
A bit of miscommunication there.
Louisville player out the back.
Substitution that just took place there with McCabe coming out and Davis going in. As I said, I think it's almost like a straight swap. Davis is a bit more of a straight runner. Niall McCabe likes to link the game up. I was very fortunate enough to work with McCabe, you know, when he played in Knoxville with me, and he's a very exciting player. Again, another one that hasn't quite worked out for him tonight. I spoke to him before the game. He said this was going to be a tough one, and it's proved to be the case. But now this is a dangerous situation for Louisville.
Head coach Mike Anhauser on your screen. The Battery getting everybody back behind the ball to help defend. They've taken it quickly. Can O'Brien Woodbine read it? And there is just an example of the veteran play to just shield it out of bounds. Yeah, and I think what Mike Anhauser, you know, having spoke to him a couple of times myself recently, you know, he gets very frustrated when you give away silly free kicks and then around the box. This is going to be the first substitution for the Battery, and coming out, it's Gordon Wild. Midweek got 2 goals, and in goes Savannah native Nico Rittmeyer, a straight swap. I think that's a really good substitution. Gordon Wild's coming off a big week for him. You know, he's started 2 games, he's got goals, he's been a big influence in this game tonight. And, you know, you've got to manage young players' minutes. You know, he'll be disappointed because right now, because he sees himself coming out of game, but, you know, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, he'll realise that that's probably not such a bad decision. Well, this thing's starting to get a bit heated on the field below us. The Battery players all flooding in to Tar Brian Anunga's defence. And it's just this point in the game when things might start to get a bit heated. Yeah,
I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's one of those tackles, but this is where players don't always help themselves. Right, the referee's going to deal with it. It was a bad challenge. I think it was a late challenge. It was a clumsy challenge. Here we go. He's gone in, and it looks like a stamp. He's caught him on the heel, but the rest of the players don't have to get involved in that. The referee should leave that. And you know, to be fair, I think the referee's here. He's taking his time and he's getting all his information, and then he'll make his decision.
Well, luckily the team separated quickly, and now we will just await the referee's decision. Both coaches up off the bench below us. And it looks like it's going to just take a moment maybe to see everything that happened.
That's very unusual for the other official coming. I think Guerra's getting involved now where he really doesn't need to. I mean, obviously you want to see players protecting their team. He's just talking now. So the referee's done well here. I think he's going to go and, if he gets it right, it's Brian Anunga. You know, he's won that header there. He's gone in. You know, it's a clumsy challenge. He's going for the ball, and I think that's the right decision there. It's a yellow card. It is a yellow card. It was an over-the-top tackle. But as I said, there's a great example. And any young players watching, let referees sort it out. That's their job. Don't get involved. You know, that could have been solved a lot quicker. And the referees, again, have come to the right conclusion. It's a clumsy challenge, yellow card. Let's get on with the game.
We are back underway. It's Craig.
What this does is it puts another little bit of spice into the game. So for all these spectators now, they'll get to see a little bit of like fire now going around, a little bit of fire in the belly from some of the players. It's inspired them up for this last 20 minutes.
Jay Bolt hits one out of bounds. McMahon to get us.
And with all that, let's talk about Nico Rittmeyer, who's come onto the game, because as I said, he's had some regular minutes lately.
He started the last couple of games for Mike Anhauser and really is a threat down the wing, very physical on the ball, and a great substitution, like you mentioned, Derek, just with Rittmeyer's defensive mind.
Yeah, Goldmold does do a good job of that. But as I said, with Nico Rittmeyer coming in, it just gives him another little areas on the ball now. You know, he's a little bit more experience, and now you can see it's closing the game out. Again, no change of formation whatsoever. It's a straight swap, light for light, and you know, we'll see. Maybe not so much of an offensive threat from Nico, but certainly a good defensive substitution there.
Kyle Smith on the far side. Goes back to Toch. Involves Speedy Williams. Good build up from Louisville. Davis the fourth. They've had a good possession game tonight. The visitors, Derek, out by Hackshaw. Williams at the top of the box now. Kelly for Rittmeyer. Rittmeyer gets his first touches on the ball.
Now you can see they're a very good side, Louisville. You can see, you know, it hasn't quite happened for some of their players tonight. As I said, McCabe probably being one of them, and Lancaster being another. But you can see why they're where they are in the league, can't you? You know, they're a good footballing team. You know, they've got exciting players. They've got a good shape. But I think they've come up against a team tonight who are also in great form and solid defensively. They don't, you know, we've mentioned the size of the squad, but you know, the way they've been rotated, they've kept to their formation and very well coached in this formation. So it makes them a threat both defensively and offensively. So fair play to them.
McMahon on Higashi's heels. Some physical play. And the referee said that's too much and gives a free kick to the Battery.
And again, Taylor Mueller doesn't have to get involved there. I think the referee's going to make the right decision. His first thing is to make sure the player's okay, and there he goes. He's given the card. It was, you know, it was a clear card. I think sometimes we expect referees to jump up and rush around. I think that's good refereeing. You can see here clearly, look, he's played the ball in. He's in hit, shoulder, gone in. Again, I don't think it's deliberate. He's just gone fully committed into the ball, but and we are going to get that second hydration break.
So here comes the hydration break. It's going to be interesting to keep our eyes on this. You can see Luke Spencer below me just pulling his players off the field quickly, forcing them to put a jog in their step and make the most of this time, not only to take on some fluid, but any tactical changes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what he's going to do now. As I said, he'll use this. As a player, he's starting to tell them, let's get it played in behind. Let's try and put them under pressure. We've got to take the initiative here. The Battery are very comfortable right now, and as I said, this is where he'll start to understand the role of a coach. As I said, he's still a player himself, so he's got to now put his role on, his coaching hat on, and really try and motivate his players.
Like we mentioned in the first half, the 3 player coaches that have taken over from head coach James O'Connor's departure. Both goalies even coming to have a sip of drink and just to get involved in the tactical talks. Just very warm conditions here in Charleston, South Carolina. A breezy night, but very humid, Derek. Yeah,
no, it is, yeah. And, Ownby there's come on to the game. He's had a good introduction, hasn't he? And, we've mentioned Lancaster a couple of times now. It's not quite fallen for him tonight, but he only needs one chance, 1 second, and then he can get on the score sheet. And there's Guerra there. Look, you can see his enthusiasm now. He's got involved in that little confrontation. That's woken him up again. So that's good news for Mike Anhauser. So, yeah, it should be a really interesting last 15 minutes.
15 minutes. You're exactly right, Derek. Left to play. Neville Hackshaw forcing the Battery to get forward. Delivers a long ball. Kotaro Higashi's on his heels. All the way back to Mueller, who goes home to Kuzminski. Kuzminski takes his time, opts for the long ball. And if you're the Battery, you just want to keep the possession now in this late going, Derek. Yeah, we spoke about it again. Something we talk about a lot of time about game management, and with this last 15 minutes, they're 2-0 up. They're fairly comfortable. Joe Kuzminski still hasn't really had to make a save tonight. But any goal that they would concede now would really, really give an incentive to Louisville to come and get something from the game. So, the next 10 minutes is very, very important. The longer the game goes on, 2 goals is going to be tough. And I think the plan on the break suits the Battery, and here we go again. It's Kotaro Higashi on the counter-attack. Rittmeyer showing his fresh legs, dropping into the box. Absolutely fantastic defending from McMahon on the far side. And now the counter-attack could be going the other way. Ownby out wide to Smith. Receives the 1-2. Hackshaw is there, forced to take a touch. And up for Higashi, does well to get it out of the back. Oh, just out of bounds, sorry, on the far side. Yeah, and that last attack, Higashi there just kept onto the ball a little bit too long. We're looking there at the subs that, they're all wondering they're going to get some time, but that was definitely Higashi there could certainly have done better and kept the ball and gone on from there. It's Lancaster. Out wide to Jimenez, that slick surface. Craig. For Del Piccolo, feeds one into the box, falls for Kelly at the top. The danger isn't over for the Battery. It's Speedy Williams. Well left. And now out wide for Smith. Davis the 4th on the ball. McMahon joins in the attack. Ownby into the box, and good composed goalkeeping from Kuzminski. Yeah, he's very, very good take there. He hasn't had much to do tonight, and again, he's most of his game night's going to be concentrating, and then when his technique's called upon, he's got to be able to do it comfortably, and he's done that very, very well there. Tulagera goes up for the long ball, 1 in the air. And now it's Ownby at the other end. Too much pace on the ball on the far side. Hackshaw. I think the way the game's going, I think we may see another substitution shortly from the Battery. I think what they need is they just need to the game's gone a little bit stale since that water break, and I think sometimes what coaches have to do is just make a little substitute, maybe a forward line one, bring on a bit of pace, something just to change the game. Even though you're 2-0 up, you just need something. There's a sloppy one there by Guerra. It's Lancaster forcing his way through. Angelo Kelly's got his body in the way and wins the challenge.
Yeah. I just heard Patrick Okonkwo's name called there, and I think that's a good one. I think that's going to be for Guerra, and I think that will be just a one, just to throw a little bit of pace on there, a little bit of something different. And Guerra's getting a little bit frustrated. He got involved in that confrontation. It wouldn't surprise me if he's the one to come out right now.
You're absolutely right. It is Okonkwo. We'll wait and see that substitution. And the referee is going to allow the substitution to happen. We'll see who's coming out. You're right, Derek. It's Atula Guerra to make way for Patrick Okonkwo, the Atlanta United loanee. But what a shift Atula Guerra's put in.
Yeah, he scored early on, didn't he? You know, and he definitely is. You know, he's a very talented player. But you can just see the last 15 minutes he's starting to get involved in things off the field, and that doesn't bode well. And you know, Okonkwo's a good one to bring in because, you know, he's got loads of pace. Look, there he goes there. And it would just be something different to give him up front. Guerra likes to drop short and get it. He's not the most speediest player. Okonkwo just gives them something different they might need in this last 10, 15 minutes.
Ombi looking for the ball into the box. Trying to feed Hackshaw forward out of the back. It's Higashi, the Japanese veteran that is in his second season with the Battery. Paid his way from Japan to the Open Trials last year. Earned a place in pre-season in Carolina Challenge Cup, scored against Seattle Sounders, and last year won Newcomer of the Year. Really been a mainstay on Mike Anhauser's side. Right now, it's very back and forth. Here's Okonkwo getting his first touches on the ball. I mentioned how much pace he's got.
Yeah, so this is where he's grown up as a player. He's got to learn when to use his pace, when not to. But you know, we can get that ball in behind, and when I say we, I'm saying the Battery. When they get that ball in behind, he's a real threat.
Some good trickery from the Jamaican veteran. Falls from his feet. Now the attack's on at the other end. It's Ombi.
Now we with Ombi now, I'm going to say, just so I don't get into trouble.
Ombi into the box, heads away by Mueller. It's Speedy Williams. Runs in to Neville Hackshaw, and Kuzminski does well to keep that one out.
And as much as I've been impressed by Williams tonight, that again, that just sums him up as a player. You know, he's very safe in there, and I think if he, you know, with a more positive attitude, there's a shot on goal available there, but he just tries to overplay it and go through. And I think his whole night, he's very talented. He's just got to take a little bit more of a risk taker with his passing, and certainly when he's in that final third taking shots. A lot of things he does is sideways and backwards. He's got to learn to have a little bit more of a penetration to his game.
It's a good ball forward for Davis into the box at the back post. Nobody there to collect it. And it looks like we're going to see another substitution for the visitors. And coming off, it's going to be McMahon, and going in, the new signee this season, it's Sean Francis.
So I think they're going to throw Greg up. It looks like Francis is going to come into the left side of the three. I think, is it Smith's going to come back into a right back, and they're going to throw Greg a lot further up the field.
You know, Francis can also get up and down the field, especially with those fresh legs. So we'll see how that substitution plays out. In just under 10 minutes of regulation left to play here at MUSC Health Stadium, it's Rittmeyer. Takes his space. You know he likes to take players on one-on-one, maybe just one too many touches. The referee waves play on. And it's Jimenez to bring them out the back. Looking up top, it's Craig.
Yeah, and he's offside there clearly, you know. And I have to say, that substitution there that they've done, and they've thrown a defender up front, I think it is a little bit of a sign of the club here, whereby they're a little bit of loose ends. They're taking the defender, throwing him up front, and I'm not so sure, you know, why they've done that. As I said, I think that shows a little bit of disarray there. And there clearly you can see Greg, he's a traditional defender, and he just makes a very bad offside run there. So not good signs there for Louisville.
Craig with one goal on the season, header in the box. He'll be looking to make it 2 on his run up front tonight in these closing minutes of the game. Alex Okonkwo, the lone striker for the Battery now up top. Tosh.
He's a little bit isolated, Okonkwo, at the minute. As I said, I think you can see they're definitely relying on his pace on a breakaway, just as a little outlet threat.
Solid header from the captain, Taylor Mueller, who played every single minute of every game last season for Mike Anhauser. And he's ranked 4th all-time in appearances. Into the box, this could be a chance. Just wide. It looks like that is going to be a corner. A bit of a miscommunication between the two referees. A corner kick it is though, and it's Jimenez to take it. He takes it quick, lofty ball in towards the back post, away by Archer. And the referee is going to have him redo that.
Yeah, and again, the one thing about this multi-ball system is every now and again it can cause confusion, and there was a situation now, I think the referees, there was 2 balls on the field, and here we go again, it gives Louisville a second chance, but a good ball into the box.
Jimenez again with the same ball, this time to the PK spot, out for Speedy Williams. Drops one across for George Davis IV.
Good pressure there by Nico Rittmeyer. He needs other players up to help him.
Smith finds the 1-2 again, delivery into the box, takes an awkward bounce from Mueller. Woodbine and Jimenez. And safety first from the Jamaican veteran. Back underway quickly. Again into the PK spot, wide of the target. Both coaches below me very vocal, harping on their teams in these last couple of minutes.
And yeah, this is Greg here, isn't it? You know, they've put the big central defender up there just to try and be a target player. So, you know, now we're going into this last sort of 4 or 5 minutes of the game. You know, the Battery certainly have got something to hold on to now. Again, you know, they don't want to concede any sort of goal now and give, you know, and have a panic last 5 minutes. So they just need to make sure they play it. And I think territorial now, they just want to get it into the corners. Let Louisville chase it back in there. I still think they can get higher up the field. And I'm sure that's what Coach Anhauser is doing, trying to get them further and further up the field so that they defend from the front rather than from deep in their own half.
Fans, if you want to get key talking points from across the USL every week, tune into the Hat Trick with Kelsey Steele on Monday evenings at the USL's Instagram account to stay up to date with what's going on around the league. Ownby on the far side. The attack is still on, away by Mueller. Now the Japanese veteran pumps one into the middle of the field, and Jimenez regains the possession.
Got a little bit sloppy in this last couple of minutes, the Battery. Some silly passes away.
It's Ownby, gets ahead on it.
And that needed to come back across goal, but yeah, a little bit sloppy there. And if you look at the Battery, you know, 2 home games this week, and you know, if they can get out of here with 6 points in a league that's really, really tight at the moment, you know, that 6 points in a week is a really good week's work, thoroughly deserved, and you've got to take advantage of your home games. And it's been a hard week, but it's, you know, hopefully it can end up after tonight. You know, the players get a well-earned rest, and they can go and rest knowing that they've had a good job done.
You're absolutely right when you say it's tight at the top of the Eastern Conference. The Battery will be back on Saturday, traveling on Saturday, sorry, to take on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, second in the Eastern Conference at Highmark Stadium. If you can't make the road trip, then join us at the Alley, where we'll have a watch party. And Louisville will return to Slugger Field on Saturday to take on Charlotte Independence. For any more information, head to louiscity.com. Again, the attack has all been Louisville in this late going. Ownby drops one back, receives the 1-2. Can he get the cross in? Yes, he can. It's at the back post. It's a scramble over the top of the crossbar, back in, and a goal for Louisville. It's a bit of pushing and shoving going on in the net. And Louisville have got the goal. It's 2-1.
It's a very scrappy goal there. As I said, but you have to say it has been coming. Ownby's, you know, come on, he's made a difference. He's put another good in. Taylor Mueller, there's some blood on him there. So we're in for a little bit of fun and games this last minute. I don't know whether he's hit him. You know, maybe we'll get a chance to see a replay. But there was all sorts of shenanigans there. As I said, let's have a look at it. Ownby again, good delivery in. It's a good first header.
Was Craig at the back post.
And he's gone in, and I think he's been hit on the head there. We'll see that in slightly. I think it's just a stray arm that hits him on the head.
Well, it was a rush at the box, but it looks like it was Del Piccolo with the goal. And like you said, Derek, very, very scrappy in the box. Taylor Mueller down. Bobby Weisenberger of MUSC Health taking fantastic care of the players as usual down there with him. And Louisville taking this opportunity to take some fluid on board.
Yeah, the referee, you see the referee conversion. I mean, obviously all our attention now is there. Let's look at it one more time. So the ball comes in here. That's a good header down. Joe Kuzminski comes over, it hits the bar. This is the one in it, as I said. It's a head, two head clashes there. So you can see Taylor Mueller's clashed heads. And that'll be a sore one. They'll wrap him up. And they'll need him on here for this last few minutes just to see how it goes. And again, you have to say that's one of them situations where the referee could have given a free kick. There's contact, obviously. And I think Kuzminski will be a little bit disappointed that he wasn't a little bit more dominant in the box there. But now it's all to play for these last couple of minutes.
Well, let's hope that Taylor Mueller is okay. He looks to be taking on some fluid. He's got his head wrapped. There was some blood, as you could see from the first.
And now we're just waiting to see what the referee's going to say. I think, again, they're talking about there's going to be a yellow card somewhere. They're just counting out who's got it and then deciding what they're going to do from here.
But again, Derek, to your point, it's been good refereeing tonight.
Yeah, they haven't rushed their decisions, have they? They've taken their time. They've conversed. You know, ultimately you want them to get to the right decision. And here we go. We're going to have a yellow card for Joe Kuzminski. And I think that's for his reaction after the ball when they were, the other team were trying to get the ball, weren't they? Louisville were trying. They want to start. They want to get going again. And we'll have a look at this one more time. Ball comes in there. It's a good header. That could be a free kick there over the top. This one here hits the bar, and then I'm not even sure it takes a touch, does it? Yeah, it does. I think it comes off Taylor Mueller, but again, you could say that is a free kick. And here's the yellow card. Here's Kuzminski there. As he gets thrown into the goal, he reacts. So now it's all to play for. We have no idea what time's left now. We're well over the 90 minutes now, and now it's everything up to the referee.
Well, Luke Spencer below me is asking the referee why we're not back underway. It's a Okonkwo. And there he is on your screens. And we will await to see how much additional time we have left to play here at MUSC Health Stadium. 2-1 the Battery, the current score. And still some confusion on the field. It looks like Taylor Mueller tracking across.
Yeah, I think he has to leave the field to come back onto the field. So that's one of them rules that they introduced. As soon as the referee blows whistle, he'll be allowed to run back on. There he is.
So now on comes Taylor Mueller. The Battery have got it covered with the 4 at the back. And he's just waved him back on.
And it just causes confusion. It riles up the crowd. Here we go. There's 6 minutes. Is that right? Yeah, that's about right. So game on, really.
6 minutes of added time here at MUSC Health Stadium. It's Louisville on the attack. Ownby drops one into the box again. This time it's Woodbine with the clearance. And Jimenez recycles Hackshaw away. Mueller very brave to get his head on it. And now a second to breathe for everyone.
Yeah, no, the last couple of minutes has been all over the place. Yeah, it was a scrappy goal, and then we got all the confusion, then the yellow card, and then the confusion with Taylor Mueller. So the Battery now need to keep their heads. This is where they need the O'Brien, Woodbines, and the Taylor Muellers just to settle the team down, get back into their shape, and play the rest of this game out. For Louisville, you want to take advantage of the chaos and really get the thing moving forward.
It's Louisville with the throw. Carl Smith. Free kick, it looks like, sorry. And we are back underway. A long ball to switch the flanks. It's Francis back into the middle, away by Kelly. Rittmeyer goes up for the challenge and wins. the challenge, and this will bring up Woodbine. And now for the Battery, it really is, Derek, about slowing the pace of the game down.
Yeah, this is a tactic. This is just to take a bit of the sting out of the game. I think Mansouré is going to come in for Higashi. Yeah, that's another sensible substitution. Mansoré's got lots of pace. And again, the Battery now just need to get the ball high up the field. Louisville's got to do all the chasing. Let them face their own goal for a bit. Use the speed of the three front players and defend the game out.
So Victor Mansouré on Kotaro Higashi, another one with a fantastic game. And Nico Rittmeyer does enough to win the corner on this near side. And it'll be a sigh of relief for the Battery.
Yeah, again, you talk about the experience there, you know, Brian Woodbine, then he just pings the ball in behind the defender, use the youthfulness of Rittmeyer to go and get it, and now they'll just keep it in the corner, and here we go, there'll be a foul here, so there you go. You know, again, I'm always amazed, you know there's going to be a foul, it just depends on who they're going to give it to. Now the Battery got to get back into shape. Louisville's got to throw the ball forward, kitchen sink, everything forward now.
The Battery dropping to a 5-man back line. Rittmeyer and Anunga sitting in front. Now drops to 6. Away by Archer. Can Woodbine clear? It's up in the air for Okonkwo to bring down. Okonkwo does enough. Kuzminski, very clean save at the back. Well, the Battery are used to a fight to the finish. I'm not sure if you saw the video that went viral from their finish against North Carolina FC last Saturday with the pinball effect, and very much of the same in this late going.
Yeah. Now you just got to use all your experience, get the ball forward. As I said, you know, Louisville now has got to, they've just got to put it forward now and see if they can get a mistake. Yeah.
Well, according to our clock, just over 1 minute left to play. Kuzminski keeps nice and safe in his hands.
Yeah, and all they need to do now is get the front three up, 4v3, bash it forward, and see what you can get from it.
And that it is. Lofty ball forward.
Mansouré does well there, gets his body in front. He knows he's not going to win it, but he gets the throw. Now this should just go down the line. Okay, and kept in the corner or into a midfield player, bash forward into the channels and see if we can just keep the ball up the other end of the field.
Well, Derek, we were talking before the match how one goal separated these two teams in all 3 matches last year, and we knew it would be more of the same again this year. Very similar teams, and that's exactly what we've seen. It's Ownby. Can Louisville find the back of the net in the late going? Away by Hackshaw. And now here is Patrick Okonkwo. And that's a nasty, nasty challenge.
Yeah.
And a straight red in the late going. It's Jimenez with the red card for the challenge on Okonkwo. And that really should be all we see from MUSC Health Stadium. Over 6 minutes of stoppage time has been played, and the referee had no question in his mind with that decision.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, I think the reason he said that as a red card is it's a 2-footed challenge round the back. Again, a needless tackle, certainly at this stage of the game. And again, you know, you have to say the letter of the law, the referee's got it right again. He was a bit more impulsive this time. I think he'd done that to take the sting out of the game. But now it really should be game over with the experience that the Battery has now. Down to 10 men, they just need to pump it forward, keep it in. I think we're almost into the last minutes now.
The referee's taking a look at his watch. That is going to be all we see. What a finish it was. What a game it's been. 2-1 Charleston Batteries, your final score here from MUSC Health Stadium. On behalf of Derek Broadley, Poppy Miller, the entire broadcast crew, thank you for joining us for tonight's match. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.